Who's this little fella?
Hello, darling.
This
How are
is
you?
Cambodia Rescue number 183.
This tiny cub, nicknamed Blue, was just getting a feel for his new digs when I last visited Cambodia's Free the Bears sanctuary.
There's no way that his mother would have abandoned him at this age, and so the chances are that she's been killed and the hunters got a cub.
Blue has grown into a beautiful, healthy and safe bear, thanks to the tireless work of Perth grandmother Mary Hutton.
That's what I'm proud of, to think that we've had such an effect on one small cub coming out of disastrous situations.
But it's not just one small cub. Try 1,000 bears. For the past 26 years, Mary and her organisation have been saving bears and building sanctuaries in 3 countries. What are some of the biggest issues that the bears still face?
The biofarms, the deforestation, the poachers and the illegal wildlife trade.
Bear bile farmers have spent decades extracting bile from captive bears for what was once considered essential medicine.
They're kept in very, very small cages. Sometimes there's a steel belt put round their tummies and a tap is attached to that so that bile can be actually drained out of the gallbladder straight away, and it's very, very painful.
In 2005, Vietnam made it illegal to take bears from the wild. But farmers were allowed to keep the bears they already had, provided the bile extraction stopped. 16 years ago, there were more than 4,000 bears in captivity. Today, that number's down to 300.
The biggest challenge is that there's already so many bears in these bile farms and the facilities don't exist currently to get them out of the farms.
Last month, rescuers embarked on a 24-hour mission to give 3 moon bears their first taste of freedom in 16 years.
Trapped in a tiny concrete cage with nothing, no stimulation. These are highly intelligent animals. The change for them is going to be literally mind-blowing.
We've still got one bear to rescue up there, and the owner's not very happy about letting him go.
The pandemic hasn't only hit humans hard, it's been bad news for bears too. Rescues have doubled in the past 18 months.
The issue is the economic impact of the pandemic, the closed borders, the lack of tourism. It's meaning that people that normally are living just a little bit above the breadline are now driven into poverty. And when that happens, then they turn to the forest and wildlife to try and recover some money. To be honest, nowadays, bears are pretty much the most valuable animal left living in Southeast Asia's forests.
How has COVID affected you guys trying to rescue the bears?
We had a case here in Laos earlier this year where we literally had to work with our partner authorities in the neighbouring province, and we met them on a bridge over the Mekong River to do the handover of these 2 bear cubs because nobody was allowed to cross the border. It was insane. It was like something out of a Cold War spy movie.
The bears often arrive at the sanctuaries with all sorts of physical and psychological injuries.
If an animal arrives with a cut or a missing paw, that's sometimes easier to deal with than some of the mental issues that they arrive with, which can really take months, if not years, to overcome.
Which I know was one of the issues with beautiful Ruby Bear, who was named after my daughter. When she came in, a lot of those emotional scars were very visible. How's she doing now?
She's good. She actually lives with a couple of friends, Florence and Matawi, who are sort of similar age to her. And oftentimes, you know, that is the best thing that you can do for these bears, is giving them a friend and somebody to learn from.
And what are the chances that some of the bears that you have in the sanctuaries could ever be returned to the wild? Is that an actual possibility?
It's definitely something that we're working towards, but for the majority of them, particularly these ones coming in from bile farms, they're going to require lifelong care.
For anyone who, like me, is feeling like they're so far away, how can we help?
We recognise that it's difficult times, but if people can sign up as a bear carer with a monthly gift, that's fantastic.
And from her headquarters in Perth, Mary continues her mission 1 bear at a time.
As long as there's bears out there needing help, well, we'll be there.
They're absolutely extraordinary people, but I just, I want to cry as well, Jan, just seeing all those images of those little bears.
How cute are those little bears?
Absolutely gorgeous. And you can just see Rove, he's like love eyes all over for them.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Well, if you do want to find out more about the work of Free the Bears, just head to the links page on our website. It's all up there.